Big Gamer out here. How are you guys doing today? I'm super. Thanks for asking. Hey guys, today I wanted to bring you a quick review and buyer's guide for Atari Flashback Classics Volumes 1 and 2. And that's currently out on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 for about £25 or £20 if you're in the UK. But I actually managed to pick mine up for about £16, which works out about $20 in the US. And for what you're getting, that's pretty good value because on Volume 1 of Atari Flashback Classics, you actually get 50 games, and on Volume 2 you get another 50 games, which means if you pick both up for kind of 40 to 50 bucks, you're actually going to get 100 games. Now each package is broken up into 9 arcade games, so that's really high quality arcade title conversions, and then 41 2600 conversions. So I don't mind that so much because my first console was a 2600 Junior. That's right guys, I'm not as old as I might seem, that's the one that came out near at the time of the NES. So a lot of these games I've played before and they bring back a lot of nostalgia to me. And the 9 arcade conversions are ones that have usually been released digitally before, but they've actually been at a bit of a higher price, so it's actually quite a nice package when you look at it in total. So the presentation's quite nice. There's nice big brightly coloured kind of arcade cabinet style art there. Each game is represented either by like an arcade art style icon or by the top of the cartridge, what the cartridge used to look like on the 2600. I really like that, I think it's quite novel. And they've brought with them online play, online leaderboards, and obviously you've got couch multiplayer if you add in a second controller and you play with your mates. So that's really, really handy. I think if you're going to buy these packages, do keep that in mind. You're getting a lot more value if you've got a second person. Games like Outlaw and Warlords really aren't playable with one person, so it's really good to kind of get that second controller and get your buddies involved. So one negative I do have with the package is the control mapping. On some of the games, the analog stick controls are very, very sensitive and make it almost unplayable, which means you have to go to the D-pad. In most games, it's either playable with the D-pad or the analog stick, but on some of the games, the D-pad is really, really stiff, and then you have to go back to the analog stick. So it can take a while to kind of find out which one is best for you with which game. I found the 2600 games are a little bit more forgiving this way because they're probably mapped for a home experience rather than in the arcade when you might have had trackballs and the such to use. So about half of the games have aged really well and kind of half of them not so well. But I found there's quite a lot of content here that I've still found really enjoyable. I still enjoy going back to games like Centipede and go back to games like Breakout. They're very simple concepts and they still play very well today. I slightly prefer Volume 2 over Volume 1. Now Volume 1 brings a lot of big hitters. It brings things like Yar's Revenge and Pong and Centipede, really well known names, but I found the games in Volume 2 much more enjoyable. The gameplay was much stronger still, and the games had aged a lot better. Games like Outlaw, Missile Command, Breakout, Asteroids, Video Pinball, I found those all still really fun to play, and I put quite a bit of time into those. I think if you're the kind of person who can go back and don't mind looking at the older graphics and the older sounds, or if you're someone that has played games for this long and you've actually remembered some of these titles originally, it does bring back a lot of nostalgia. And there is a lot of content here, and with the multiplayer and achievements and stuff like that, you can actually play this game for many, many, many hours. And I think it's quite nice to have on your shelf and get out every now and again. I'm actually going to give these overall a 6 out of 10. I think that Volume 2 might be more like a 6.5. I'm going to kind of average it out a little bit. Some of them are a little bit hit and miss, some with control, some with gameplay. But there's so much content here, you really are on a winner, guys. So if you want me to keep bringing you reviews of games like this, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.